Nigerian Railway Corporation suspends train operations along Abuja Kaduna routes indefinitely. The public affairs analyst Sendueso describes as fictitious claims by former Chief of Staff to Governor Nigerian of a purported existing political accord to see governorship position of Akwa in 2023 to Senator Basi Albert. On the foreign Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett, the day's India trip after COVID infection. In sports, Portugal captain Cristiano Ronaldo dismisses claims of his early international retirement in football. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon, welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1fm. I am Bright James. We'll begin the news this afternoon with the reports that Vice President Yemi Osibanjo has announced the establishment of 6 Sustainable Development Goals SDG innovation hubs by the federal government in each geopolitical zone in Nigeria to help boost social financing states among other functions. The Vice President announced this at the African Union Continental Workshop on Africa's Voluntary National Reviews for the 2022 High-Level Political Forum hosted in Abuja by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals SDGs. In a speech, Osibanjo told global participants at the forum that the strategic partnership embedded in the SDGs had availed Nigeria a huge implementation context due to its large population, landmass, and ethnic diversity. Meanwhile, he said that the SDGs had remained cardinal to the attainment of robust economic cooperation among governments globally, particularly the realization of the decade of action for SDGs as defined by the United Nations. Recall that last year, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on SDGs, Adejoke Relope, had revealed that the federal government was collaborating with the UN to set up SDGs innovation hubs in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the federal government has inaugurated a committee on the review of Nigeria's trade policy. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeni Adebayo, said the event marked a new trajectory on how Nigeria uses international trade and investment as veritable tools for economic growth and poverty reduction. In a statement by Special Assistant Media, Ifedayo Sayo, Adebayo said that the major objectives of Nigeria's trade policy, which were first articulated in a document in 1989 under the Structural Adjustment Program, SAP, were later revised in 2002 and has not been reviewed or revised since then. According to him, the development have affected the way Nigeria produces and trades, including the evolution of global production networks and global value chains. And it is therefore the firm commitment of the ministry that Nigeria strategically responds to these global trends in order to promote and sustain its trade performance. The minister said the priorities include building a thriving and sustainable economy and large agricultural output for food security, attain energies of efficiency in power and petroleum products, and expand transport and other infrastructure development, among others. In the meantime, the Minister of Water Resources, Suleiman Adamo, has pledged that the federal government will complete many of the abandoned water projects before the tenure of the present administration ends in 2023. Adamo, who disclosed this at the media party in Abuja, noted that the government made a strategic decision to concentrate on completing many of the ongoing and abandoned projects it inherited. Reports say the ministry inherited more than 116 ongoing and abandoned water projects from previous administrations. According to the minister, the projects, categorized into high, medium, and low priority, were awarded as far back as 1992 and the early 2000s. The minister said the abandoned projects, which included irrigation, dam, and sanitation projects, had suffered neglect. He said achieving food security was critical to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, stressing that an overall mandate that would end hunger was being pursued as we speak. Now in transportation, the Nigerian Railway Corporation (NRC) suspended train operations along the Abuja-Kaduna route indefinitely. The NRC made this known in a post via its official social media handle today. In the post, the NRC said that the suspension was due to unforeseen circumstances. The words added that further communication will be given in due course. Recall that some terrorists had reportedly bombed the Abuja-Kaduna bound rail track yesterday. Reports say an Abuja-Kaduna bound train filled with passengers derailed after the improvised explosive device planted by the terrorists went off. The terrorists subsequently attacked the train with many passengers reportedly injured. This is allegedly coming a few days after the terrorists attacked the Kaduna International Airport, where an aircraft was prevented from taking off. In education, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAM) has said that over 1.8 million candidates have been registered for the 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination (UTME). The board, which disclosed this in its weekly bulletin, said the figure includes direct entry candidates. Recall that registration commenced for the 2022 UTME on February 19th and ended on March 26th. The examinations are scheduled to hold from May 6th to May 16th. JAM also disclosed that the cumulative sum of 238 million naira derived from the regulated 700 naira service charge from the 5th week of registration have been remitted to its accredited computer-based test centers. Also remember that the board had earlier banned the use of cash in all its accredited CBT centers during the exercise. It directed all candidates to pay the service charge to the e-in vendors along with 3,500 naira application fee, which is remitted to the centers on a weekly basis, proportional to the number of candidates that registered. However, the board said payments of the accumulated sum to all centers excluded JAM-owned CBT centers. Back here, the public affairs analyst Suspends described the claims by the former chief of staff to the governor, Nigerian, of a purported existing political accord that tended to see the governorship position of the Kaduna State in 2023 to Senator Abet as laughable and fictitious. Speaking in a radio interview program in Rio, Ndueso said the election of Governor Mano in 2015 came after the people of Kaduna State had unanimously agreed that whether by zoning or rotation, the political authority of the state from 2015 to 2023 should reside in the Kek Central District. Ndueso, a special assistant to the governor, research and documentation, wondered how Senator Albert could have stepped down for Governor Mano in a race he was never qualified to contest. Ndueso, who at the time was a personal assistant to the immediate past governor, said that it was unfortunate that despite being a ranking member of the state executive council, was of the entourage of the governor throughout the town hall meetings, Albert went on to defy the unanimous decision by purchasing the governorship form. Ndueso also took a swipe at the allegation of poor reward system as peddled by the former commissioner of works. He said Senator Albert negotiated and got the Senate ticket ahead of his kinsman, Senator Itana, in 2015 and got returned to the Senate in 2019. Wondered why a person who has been appointed a finance commissioner for 7.5 years and senator for another 8 years could claim of not being adequately rewarded. To this end, he felt disappointed that Nigerian, who joined the government of Kaduna State for the first time in 2015 before he was sacked a few weeks ago, could come out to mislead the public on a non-existent accord that had no witness except himself. Ndueso, who served under the Director of Media, the Curator Udo, and the Chairman of the Media and Publicity Directorate of the campaigns near Kaduna, the Chief Information Officer in the 2015 PDP campaigns, also said Nigerian obviously erred in his submission since he had not yet returned to the state from his sojourn in Lagos during the build-up to the elections. You're listening to the news on Planet Radio 101.1fm. You're listening to Breathe That, and then bring more stories from our foreign sports and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us. English. Now on the foreign scene, Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett has put off a trip plan for later this week to India after it tested positive for COVID. A 3-day trip organized after an invitation from India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi had been scheduled to start on Sunday and had been set to mark 30 years since the two nations established diplomatic ties. According to the Prime Minister's office, Bennett has tested positive for COVID-19 but was feeling well and will continue schedule as planned from his home. In sports, Portugal captain Cristiano Ronaldo has made speculations that he could be approaching the end of his international career. Ronaldo, who is 37, spoke at the news conference ahead of his team's playoff final against North Macedonia today in Porto. the winner of the game going to the 2022 World Cup. Meanwhile, 2016 Euros winners Portugal have qualified for the last 5 World Cup finals, while North Macedonia's first major tournament in their 27-year history was last year's Euro 2020. Now, on the entertainment scene, American actor and comedian Anthony Anderson and his wife Alvina Stewart have called it quits after 22 years of marriage. According to Reward, Stewart filed for divorce in Los Angeles County Court, citing irreconcilable differences as a reason for their breakup. In the report, Stewart requested spousal support from the 51-year-old actor. The report said this is not the first time she will be filing for divorce from the comedian. Stewart first filed for divorce in 2015. This means the petition got back with Anderson. Well, they have 2 adult children. Kyra was 26-year-old and Nathan, who is 22-year-old. This means she will not be asking for child support. As in the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM.